Okay, so we just got down from the webcam review, and as you can see I've decided to go with black and white, at least for the next couple of videos. I'm still using the onboard camera because I had a few problems with the microphone before, so apologize for any potentially bad audio. So like I said, we come down from the webcam review, and now we're going to give you sort of the opposite end of the spectrum in terms of technology, and review a sketchbook. And not just any sketchbook, or rather not just from any sketchbook company, but Moleskine. And that is how it's pronounced. Let's get that out of the way. Moleskine. Not Moleskine, not Moleskine, Moleskine. So all your little buddies who mispronounce it, you can correct them, and you'll be in the right. Now, Moleskine has probably the most puffery-laden ad campaigns you will ever imagine, and just looking at the labels on them, you see, the famed notebook of Picasso and Hemingway and Chadwick and Napoleon Bonaparte and Tutankhamun. Ugh. But they do make some good stuff. They make really nice watercolor books. I use these for my ink sketches. But in browsing through their products, trying to find more watercolor books, I came across this little number. This is what they call a Japanese book. This is their pocket-sized version, and it's about 5.5 by 3.5. They're coming out with a larger version around January 27th, according to Amazon. It's a tentative date, so don't hold me to it, which is going to be 8.5 by 5, so a little bit bigger, closer to this in size, so you get a little bit of an idea. And this is, like I said, it's called the Japanese book. And they call it that because I'm going to show you, and I'm going to open it backwards because that's really the best way to demonstrate this thing. So turn it around here, and because it does this. Yeah, that's I've never seen anything like this before. Of course, like I said, it's called an accordion book, and people typically make them, and I think there might be one or two companies that produce something similar. But this is the first time that I've seen one in a commercially available product. So first little critique out of the way is, like I said, you've got this accordion style book, and you would put the book like that, and you can already see when you open it up, you get this little, you can't really put the book flat. You can't, if you're going to work on it, whatever you plan on doing with it, which there's actually a page on Moleskine devoted to what people do with these things. They're called the Japanese book because they're inspired by Japanese wall scrolls. Not the nylon screen printed Naruto things you see in comic shops. No, we were talking the proper picture scrolls back in the feudal era, because there are no other eras in Japanese history, or so pop culture would have us believe. But people do things like collages and just long travel logs, things like that. Anything that would imply like a linear progression, or anything that would need just a really long piece of paper. But like I said, when you work on it right away, the first page you kind of can't get to. You can't lay the book flat. You've almost got to hold it open like this, do whatever you want with it, then things get a little easier to open, and it acts more like a conventional book. I guess they're assuming most people are just going to lay it out on the table like that. So that just seems like kind of a strange thing, but that's a binding issue, and no big deal. The other thing that I had a problem with was, Moleskine always claims that in the back pocket of their books is a little card with the history of Moleskine. Not there. Maybe it's just this one that I got, maybe it's a few other books, but yeah, just like, they couldn't work that out, they couldn't decide whether or not they were going to have the card in it or not. And lastly, something that gets me about it is the way that it's made is it's 60 pages, pages being the loose best term, and about every 20 or so there's a little join. I won't put the camera in macro mode like before, but it's basically made from 3 sheets of paper that are joined by a thin glue, pretty good glue by the way, into 60 pages, and that just seems really strange. I mean, like I said, it's a criticism because it just seems like, why would they, can't they get a big piece of paper? They're Moleskine, they make sketchbooks and paper products. They can't get big pieces of paper? Maybe it's something to do with the machines they use to cut and fold the paper, I don't know, but it just seems like a silly thing. But then again, any criticism I could have for this thing kind of seems to fall a little flat because what is this? I've never seen anything like this, and I don't know what people do with these things. I have seen a few things people do with them, but I'm completely stumped what I'm going to do. And I can't do this all the time, even though I have no idea why this is fun. But yeah, it's beyond criticism. I really don't know what to think of this thing. But it's Moleskine, so you know you're getting a good product. It might be a little overpriced. Well, actually, no, I can't say that because that would imply a degree of comparison, and I can't think of what to compare this thing to. But it runs between about maybe 10 and 12 bucks, depending on where you go. I don't know what the price for the larger version that's coming out is, but maybe about 5 bucks more than that. So yeah, if you're in the mood for something strange, or if you like doing collage work, or if you do any sort of calligraphy or anything like that, just anything that requires a large piece of paper, the exquisite corpse, that's a good thing to do. You know, just make your drawing and then just kind of ever so slightly go over the edge on the other side, then just hand it off to the next person. And, you know, get as many people as you can to contribute, you know, so one great exquisite corpse in your pocket. And, yeah, and just think of things to do. I've never seen anything like this that's going to challenge you and just think, what can I do with this thing? Because you're not just going to use it for notes. They have way better books for that, and it's only 60 pages. It's very nice paper. It's not kind of thin, typical notebook paper. It's more like cardstock. So yeah, you're not going to use this for conventional notebook and sketchbook stuff. So yeah, if you're in the mood for something strange and want a bit of a creative challenge, pick up one of these guys.